Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. Feeling much better today. Yesterday was a really rough ride. But anyway, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the screen we showed off in the window. Sorry if my knuckles there in the way. Called the Advanced Ambient Light Projection. And this is the Invisible Dark Nova 19. Now, the Dark Nova 19 or Visible Dark Nova 19s, I know we're going to have people out there that are going to try to say, hey, it's done this way, and hey, it's done that way. Even when it comes to, like I said, our dark technology screens and gunmetal screens can produce images in fully lit environments, don't require high power and expensive projectors. You're going to have people out there that are going to be skeptical about it because they can't understand it and they refuse to accept it because they can't do it themselves. That's what it comes down to, the jealousy factor. All right, so yesterday, someone we all know who, did a demonstration talking about, oh, this is how it's done. He went down to Home Depot or Lowe's and got this spray-on reflector. And this is what he did. In the demonstration, he really did not understand what he was looking at and how this product is designed. They're called invisible dark novas because you can't see through the screen. Light can transfer through the screen from the projector. Light from the surrounding environment cannot. It cannot transfer through the screen. So also too, when you apply this technology, it requires multiple coats, which means if you paint it the first time or spray it the first time, you will notice that it's light. All right. This gives you the ability to be able to change out how dark you want your coating. Sometimes you might want your coating a little darker. Sometimes you might want a little lighter. It's up to you. So the more applications that you put on, the darker it becomes. This is the technology right here. This is the technology we had in the window. This is the technology that took the direct hit from sunlight. And now when I say take a direct hit from sunlight, meaning that the side of your house should be well illuminated with sunlight, showing that there is sunlight making contact with that screen, not sunlight being across the street and the environment where your screen is displayed or that screen is being displayed completely dark. There's no sunlight pushing past the windowsill or nothing whatsoever. And as I said before, in the window, you can clearly see sunlight was on the opposite side of the street. And again, this technology, you can't see through it. It's not clear in any way whatsoever. So that's why I feel that you have to understand what you were looking at, and other people, if they decide to do the same demonstration, must understand what they're looking at, that the technology is extremely interesting. Another point to point out, if you set the technology down in a room, you hit it with a projector, you can see the front and the rear of the screen. If you do this on glass, it produces heavy and most vivid images on the opposite side of the screen, especially when being hit with sunlight. All right? Okay. So now you can get a chance to see what it looks like. This is the technology. And no way whatsoever is it clear at all. And it's a shame that people will go through those lengths to pretty much figure out or try to figure out what we do. Same thing with the black screens. We have people who can't accept that a black screen can pull white level that high. But we displayed that in a demonstration with a little TV at the bottom, matching a demonstration that didn't even come close to our black screens on basically saying that they came up so dark. But like I said, it's what we deal with. There you go. That's it right there. I'll take a roll of tape, stick it behind the screen. You can't even see the roll of tape at all, period. That's the way the technology is designed. See? That's why I tell people, don't go out and do video demonstrations and embarrass yourself. If you don't know exactly how our technology works, don't do that. You will embarrass yourself badly. So like I said, in the demonstration, the screen you have is clear. This technology is not clear. You can't see through it. That's why it's got the nickname dark and visible, or visible dark. All right, so let's move on. I got demonstrations to do. I got myself a hot cup of tea. Feeling much better today. Yesterday was a pretty rough day for me, but still got through it. Wondering, are we going to get, if we don't get any sun, no, I think we're going to get a cloudy day today or rainy day today. It doesn't make a difference. We can still do the test demonstrations on the other two screens because I just have the projector inside the house. Don't have to worry about that. That's what that's being set up for right now. Like I said. So we're going to be doing some demonstrations. We have to do pre-recorded outside. It had to be done. I don't like doing pre-recorded. I really don't. I'd rather do the video live, but I did enough of them yesterday live, but the videos were really crazy choppy, and I have to be to show the clarity of this screen. I got people that are interested in it, and I have to be to show the clarity of the screen so they can see that you can look at advertisement off glass. See, one of the problems you have with with outdoor people want to advertise off glass, and people just don't want something they can have against the glass if they want. You have the issue of ambient light behind the screen disrupting the picture. And I think the number one is actually sunlight, direct sunlight hitting the screen. Now they're going to have some kind of shadow out there, some kind of awning to protect it, you know what I mean, as much as possible. And this is why we needed something that could take an actual direct hit from sunlight, so that way we can see exactly where the screen stands, you know. But like I said, you're going to have people doing those fake demonstrations, clearly trying to do what we do, and they don't even come close. Let me get me a stand. Hot, ready to go. I got a hoodie on because it's a little chilly outside right now. And I don't mean a bowl of chili. All right, we'll put our projector here. And we still have tests to do in here. We have a lot of tests to do here in this particular area. As a matter of fact, I just want to go around this way. And we'll run the projector, because we're closer to the window too on top of that. And we have to still put the screen out the window for those tests. All right, I'm gonna move my chairs over here. Okay. I'll get myself some hot water in the morning. See in the morning when I'm getting up. All right. I need let me see. We gotta get this projector. We're gonna get this projector here. That projector right there. Right now. And I gotta get ready up in the cave too. Got the caveman coming back. Let's keep the thing somewhat decent. Alright, so as I said before, that this particular formula has 3 different coatings. One we have is jet black. Another one we have is, and I would love to see the demonstration on the jet black one too. Jet black, and we have 2 other interesting colors. Not going to say what colors they are, but they are different colors, and they're invisible too. I told you that the exotics all have invisible technology attached to them. Okay. Now, we use a 5200 lumen projector because also too, one of the concerns is when you're using the screen that's allowing light to transfer back and forth is hot spotting. People want to see if the screen's going to hotspot or how much of the lamp glare is going to be to push to the screen. That's going to disrupt the picture on the other side. Because even though we do advise to use ultra short throws on those, we still have, sorry about that. We still have people who are going to use long throw because depending on how much space or where they want the projector at, stuff like that. Let's see. 11 left. I wanted to get out yesterday desperately and do the demonstration for the blue and the haze, but as I said before, yesterday was not feeling too good and just not my. And then after being overwhelmed with the new technology we have with that visible, wanted to get that outside. I want to start doing demonstrations on that, and seeing that screen take on that direct sunlight like that was amazing. So I had to go out there and finish that off with that demonstration too. All right, let me get that to adjust better. All right, I'm gonna bring me a stand out here too. Set the other way. It should be so much easier. I'm gonna drag the stand all the way over there just to do a demonstration all the way over here. So I'm gonna turn this around for right now because I'm still gonna get the other one outside. And we're gonna take that one and do that one right now. Let me see. No power. Those switches are probably not even on. Okay. Don't you know in, are you? You again. There we go. All right. So we're going to be on this side right now. Let me go check my. I think I have a baseball cap in there. I had to shave my head today. Oh, what the heck was I grabbing that for? To grab this. All right, let me remove the floss. Put them in the next room so they're not in the camera shot. Sometimes I'm in the camera shot, sometimes I don't. So let me get these guys out of the way. Okay. Now we're going to project an image from distance, hit the surface. And show you that the surface, depending on if it's cloudy outside, it should definitely pick up on both sides, but more likely, its stronger points is going to pick up on the opposite side of the screen as what it's designed to do, outside. What are you doing? Feels a good way to get stabbed or something. All right. Now, oh, we did it already. I don't get out of here. upstairs. I know I grabbed the two remote controls by accident. All right. So that's the 5200 lumen projector, which has a very bright, and that is the screen right there. Let me bring it down some. As you see, we're able to see images on the back side of the screen, and also too, we can see images on the front side of the screen, as you can see. All right, put that right there for you. Now, where is this? Great. I'm gonna be tripping over that. I need the remote control for the Sony. I think this will work for the Sony too also. I think they all work together. Can I put this in blank mode? Oh yes, I can use this in blank mode. There we go. So there is the technology right there. As I said before, people need to understand what we do over here. It takes time and patience, dedication, and faith. That you're not going to be to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy the same thing and spray it down and say, hey, look, this is how it's being done. And that's why I always put that term out there, bull in a china shop, because you got people that are so fast to rush out and do things and display them without understanding how our technology works, and that's where they embarrass themselves. So we had an individual who basically went to Home Depot, got some clear reflective spray, and said, this is how they're doing it. This is how they're making the screen and look like that. And I'm thinking, in no way, in no form is that container of spray, and I've used this up before, I've done this demonstration before, proving this fellow wrong. I'll put the link at the bottom where I busted him before doing this same dumb thing all over again. Like I said, he has a bit of what you call groundhog syndrome. We've done this one already years back when we first started working with invisible technology. And I'll post some demonstrations. I was working with invisible technology before he ever existed to begin with. But anyway, in his theory, he says, well, I figured out how they did it. They sprayed it on. That stuff, when you spray it on, number one, is clear. You can see right through the screen, where in this technology, you can't see through the screen. It is completely dark. The same way we developed the black invisible technology does the exact same reaction. This actually displays images on front and back of the screen, as I said before, but if you put this against a window, there's a great deal of light or sunlight pushing through. It doesn't show up on the inside, it shows up on the outside, which with that other stuff, yeah. All right, let's move on. And on top of that, if you take a high caliber projector, like a 5200, and this is why we use 5200 lumen projectors in these demonstrations, is because people who sign contracts with us, people who do business with us, need to see if the screen is going to glare, number one, have a lamp glare, or hot spot. And as I said before, you can't see it through the screen. Can't buy a spray like that at Home Depot or Lowe's that can do that at all, period. Like I said, I can take Mr. Groot. As a matter of fact, you're actually seeing the shadow of the cell phone peering off the screen right there. So no, you can't go to Home Depot, you can't do the same thing. And it's sad because you got individuals like that out there that don't understand how technology works, and they will try anything necessary to try to either debunk somebody's theory or, bottom line, try to figure out how it's done. There's a group sitting behind the back of my screen, and if I move my camera out of the way, you can't see Groot at all. You can't see through the screen to see Groot at all. But let me see. Maybe we can put something pretty cool on. We can go in. Let me see. Oh, I forgot. I left that one upstairs. I had to track that one down. So, my favorite part of these demonstrations is when we display technology like this, and we're never going to have individuals try to figure it out the best way they can. My best part of these demonstrations is to show off the screen and then let the naysayers come out and embarrass themselves and then explain to you the difference of the technology and anything else. Interesting. So I ordered the same spray used in the demonstration. We'll paint that on a sheet of plexiglass and we'll see if that matches our screen. As you can see already, it's not going to do a great job. So as you can see Groot's top of his head, but you can't see him at the bottom, because that's why it's called invisible dark technology. Well, invisible, we call it invisible dark technology, or invisible nova, but it is invisible dark technology. So let's go over to Starfield Screensaver. Right? So I'm going to pick up a Starfield Screensaver. Oh, let me get this one. It pops on. Let me get it off real quick. All right. There's a Starfield Screensaver being displayed. As you can see, you cannot see Groot in any way whatsoever. You can only see the top of his head. That's it. The screens are designed that images, like you can't see it through the screen, but the technology can push through. Now, let's go over here and let's look. If you notice that Groot's top of his head is being displayed with stars, but the bottom half is not being displayed with anything at all whatsoever. That's the half that's being blocked by the screen. Let's go over and look at the back of the screen. As you can see, the Starfield is being displayed on the back of the screen with no problem whatsoever. This is why we call it dark invisible technology, because you can basically set objects in front of it and you can't see it. Like the black technology developed, you can put that behind something, you won't be able to see it at all, period. That's why people have to listen. When we name these things, we call them dark invisible. That's how it has a name, like the black invisible technology. Now again, I like doing these last because, like I said, I love when people try to do the whole comparison. They think they can do the same thing we can do. No, you don't even come close. Look at Groot's face. Look at the bottom half. I'm going to turn the projector, put it in blank mode. And keep in mind, this technology has 4 different colors behind it. It's 4 different colors attached to this technology. But since someone figured out how it's done, there it's in blank mode. You can't see Groot's body, can you? You can only see the top part of his head. Again, that's why the technology is called dark invisible, Nova 19. See? Now, if you look at the top of his head, again, that's displaying the stars. See? Look at the bottom half of his body. No stars. That's the part that's being hit with the screen. Go to the back of the screen. There's stars being displayed. See? That's why certain things we do when we develop certain technology, we'll put it out there without showing any of these tests or demonstrations at all, period. And the reason why we do this is because we know we're going to have individuals out there run fast out there, try to do demonstrations, try to say, oh, it's the same thing. This is how they're doing it, blah, 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 blah. Go in a China shop and embarrass themselves badly. Because then we have to come out and go, no, that screen's not transparent. You can't see through that screen. Did you listen to the name of what the technology is called? Dark invisible. That's why it's called that way. Don't even know that the screen has 3 colors. One of them is actually blue. It's a blue invisible technology that they're working on. So yeah, that's why I said it's best to mind your own business. If you don't understand what we do over here and how we do it, it's best to mind your own business. When I can do demonstrations and I can walk about my house, hit a screen at a 190-degree viewing angle on a projector, cost me $59. This is something you can't do. So you're not on that field. You got to stop doing that. But there you go. Just to give you an understanding. Let's put the blank projector in blank mode again on the opposite side. There you go. So here we are on the opposite side. And you see, you can't see the projector. You can't even see my movie chairs. You can't see anything at all, period. Go over here to the side. All you can see is the top of Groot's head. That's it. And also, too, interesting too about this technology is also too that if I were to, like I said, put this against a glass window, a lot of sunlight's coming in. Screen can maintain on the opposite side, but the image on the other side is completely gone, which is the inside being hit with the projector. And I'll show you my distance too, also too, where my projector sits. We always make sure our projector sits at a distance when we do these demonstrations. We do them up close only when we're displaying the screen's ability to be able to cancel out lamp glare. Now, also too, like I said, this is a multiple application right here. This is up to 4 applications to get the screen this dark. As you start to paint the screen, it becomes darker and darker and darker. So you can't do one spray like what do you call it? We're going to call it the Home Depot fast solution. It's not a one spray. It's a multi-coat application. Every time you spray it on, it becomes darker and darker and darker and darker. You can't just take an aerosol can and no. This is a multi-application. How it has to be applied. As I said, every time you apply it on, it gets darker and darker. We started doing that when we started developing the black screens. We first started developing invisible technology with black screens. When they came on, they were super jet black. We had some people that didn't want the screen that black. So when we developed it, we made it so you can put multiple coats. Each layer darkens the screen. That way you can adjust how dark you want the surface. Now this surface right here, if you spray it one time, will come out a kind of foggy, kind of clear. You'll be able to see a shape of Groot's body with no problem. But like I said, as you start adding more applications to it, that surface will become darker and darker and darker. And like I said, this is 4 applications. I'm going to do one with 5 pretty soon. All right. Let me get something up there other than fish or Mr. Groot. Oh. Actually, I put it someplace interesting in my back pocket. Now, let me get my cup of tea. I must be drinking this when I get up in the morning. My cough top tea, or cough drop tea. Where's the name of that one? I'll be drinking this when I get up in the morning. Helps clear my system a little better. Okay, I need some cough drops. I know I got some in here somewhere. Yeah, you know, we've been through this before. Like I said, I'm going to post a video from, actually I think it's 3 years back, where you try to do the same thing all over again, showing somebody, say, hey, look, you can use a reflect, and he was even busted on that video too. So we'll show you that video. Like I said, we've done this before with him. So I'll show you a video way back. I mean, it was way back, probably 4 years ago, or probably 5 years ago, where we came up with this clear, invisible product. We're actually marketing, we're making good money off of it. And here comes you-know-who, Bull in the China shop, who tried to downgrade that video. I ended up buying the same product he used in the video, did the side-by-side demonstration, and his product whatever he was using, never came up even close to what the screen could produce. Number one, that spray that he's using can't land a surface, which means it can't land contrast, it doesn't land color properly. And I'll show you in the video we did back 4 years ago, and we actually debunked his video again, him using the exact same product and the exact same video 4 years ago. And I said, like I said, he must forget what he does because he doesn't remember he got debunked in that video. So same thing here, but this time the technology we used in the other video 4 years ago was clear, and it still didn't match the other clear screen. This screen's not clear. That's why when I saw the video, I started laughing because I was like, does he understand that the screen we're using in the demonstration is not clear? Does he understand the name of it? Dark and visible? Okay. And also, too, what's going to be very embarrassing to you in the next couple of days, because you really shouldn't have did that, because it's going to embarrass you pretty bad. This application, again, has 4 different color screens attached to it. One of them is blue. Blue dark and invisible technology. So if you're explaining to people how it's done, now you're going to have to explain to them how in the world they have a black screen, a blue screen, it's dark gray screen, and there's a mystery screen. Which we're working on that one. It's an interesting screen, but we're working on that one. So you're going to have to explain to people how in the world is he coming up with these different colors for this dark invisible technology. How can you see, well, if he wants to do the same demonstration, I guarantee you that if he sets down that product, and we ordered it already, we got it off Amazon. We'll have it here, we'll do side by side and see if it comes up to looking like, so we can debunk that theory again, get it out of the way, and then that way he'll go to something else like, I don't know, doing a video on games or some kind of electronic to try to push things away, but he always says it all the time, but we expect this from him anyway. This is nothing new. He just really should have looked through that video and looked at the name of it before doing this, because you really embarrassed yourself. Yep. Now see, the purpose for dark and visible, because like I said, we have companies out there we do business with. Instead of putting up an expensive LCD display in their store, they can actually coat this stuff on panels and put this into the background of their display. So you can have this where your sneakers are here, you can have this in the background, and since it's gray and since it's black, you can't see anything on the opposite side, including the projector and including the glare from the projector. You can't see it. So when a customer comes in, all they see is these sneakers and this black little display. They might think the monitor's off or the TV's off or whatever, especially if it's done in all black. And then when the image pops up, there you go right there. Cheaper, more affordable than putting in an LCD. And since it can take a direct hit from sunlight, that means it can take on anything in any environment whatsoever. See, including commercial lighting. There's a reason why we do these tests. Because if I can show you that a screen can take a direct hit from sunlight, well, then anything inside the house, it's going to be easier. A commercial property is going to be easy for it to take on. On top of that, one of the problems, and I've done my research, and like I said, this is coming from people who don't do research and don't do tests. When people don't do tests and research, this is why they fail miserably online. I looked at a lot of demonstrations on people doing outdoor window advertising. Usually it's clear. It's like a clear or kind of a foggy kind of color to it. The problem you have with that is it can't pull contrast. It reacts the same way as a white screen and a black screen. It can't pull the contrast. So contrast levels are faded. And if the contrast levels fade, as I said before, you can't get those really deep, rich colors to make it pop. If you're using this for advertising, you want an image that's going to come to life on glass. You want people to look at it and be wowed and be amazed by it. You don't want a faded image. You want it to look exactly like the product you are advertising. See, this is where his mind doesn't extend that far. And when people who basically, like I said, I've watched demonstrations where people showing off their clear products, the first thing they do is they move to the side. When you move to the side, it pushes the lamp glare off the screen. I'll show you that once we get the other product here from off of Lowe's. I mean, we ordered it from Amazon. I'll show you what they mean by where they stand to the side. Because if you're using it with a high-end projector, as they use for commercial use in these companies, you would get a lamp glare on the other end, and it's very, very unwelcoming. But that's why I felt that, yeah, he really shouldn't have did the video. I had a friend of mine was laughing his head off. He says he does understand what that stuff is, right? So apparently he doesn't. He said, well, do what you need to do. I said, okay. So that's why you got to watch these demonstrations carefully. They cheat so much. They cheat so much. You know, you have to be to show the sunlight pushing through. You have to show where it stands, where it's hitting. You have to show where it's actually bathed in the screen. You have to see light pushing in. That's very important because that's what it's designed to do. Not a demonstration where you have it dark on your side of the house and clearly on the opposite side of the street. You can see the sunlight is clearly on the other side of the street. That's what I noticed with Screen Innovation. When Screen Innovation was showing off the $50,000 Sony projector, I was like, why is your sunlight across the street? Why didn't you do it early in the morning so you can have the actual physical light from the sun piercing the house? cheating demonstrations. My goodness. But anyway, and keep in mind, I just have to say this real quick. If we show off demonstrations like this, showing that they're completely wrong in what they've done and how they've cheated and cut corners, then we are the ones that are considered to be scammers because we did the job right. See what I mean? There you go. But anyway, just give you an understanding of the technology. Now, I was hoping for a sunny day today. Good thing I did get that demonstration in on a sunny day. We're going to have to do the demonstrations on this technology outside, pre-recorded, because as I said before, I looked at the live demonstrations. Even though we have it live, some of it did come out nice, and that does back up our product 100% right there. So we have enough of those on file. What we need is a crystal clear image, and we have to do that pre-recorded. So we got to do a few of those today. I know it's probably going to rain, so what better way basically to test out the technology in the rain? I don't know if I'm going to be watching this rain in the rain, but you know. But anyway, we have to do a few of those. Yesterday, I did want to get outside the fabric screen, but like I said yesterday on camera, I was doing pretty bad. But today I feel much better, you know what I mean? But yes, I was very, very congested. Not so bad. No, it sounds bad now, but trust me, it was much worse yesterday. But anyway, as you can see, like I said, this is why we call it dark invisible, because it's designed so you can't see through the screen, only the projector can see through it. Let's get something else. Let's get some 4K fish YouTube. Okay, let me see what we got going on here. 4K fish YouTube. We'll use this one right here. Now, as I displayed, and I will display outside, you will see that we don't have to just show fish. We can go on the videos and movies or whatever we want to play. I did Tron on one of them outside. Now, this is the video that was displayed in the so-called other video. It was trying to copy our work and trying to say it's the same thing. Let's go over and have a look. My projector is even right here. Feels like it's not even. I need to bring it up just a little bit more. That's driving me crazy. I gotta stop doing that too, because I'll break my machine. This one was not cheap. I tried to get it for cheap, but it's not cheap. All right, so I'm gonna bring it down and push it over. I'm in the wrong direction, buddy. There we go. And you can see at 5,200 lumens, 5,200 lumens at, good gracious, we're more than 18 feet away at 5,200 lumens. And you can see where our screen is pushing up here. I got to do a demonstration on this one too. Because that's the extended throw. The extended throw gives me the ability to push an image. I can push a projector all the way back there. This is 18 feet, mind you. Now, mind you, just real quick, the gunmetal was supposed to come up dark in the theory of this video. That's 18 feet. Do you know how far the projector is sitting back? It's in my kitchen. See the white screen right there? That's how powerful gunmetals are. And this thing is sitting in window light, and it's more than 18 feet back. And even it's blurry, of course, because, like I said, I had the projector just on the screen. We get out of the way of the shot. See what I mean? This is what I say by when I do videos like this, it debunks the theory of other people. You can tell clearly it's jealousy. It is what it is. So if you did a demonstration on the gunmetal, off topic, that was supposed to be so dark you couldn't see it, how is it possible that my projector is sitting over 18 feet in the next room and it's still able to pick up the image on the gunmetal? So how is that possible? And the screen came up so dark that you couldn't even see it. See, this is what I mean by jealousy. And it's jealousy at the end of the day. You get people that are mad and upset. They want to do the same thing, but they don't want to put the hard work in. Isn't that interesting? Look at that. It even has an angle gain at over 18 feet. I love how God will do things, put things out in the open. You know, so you can see how other individuals are. Let's turn our lights on here because we have it a tad too dark in here. One of the things I noticed too, when I see demonstrations of people using rear technology, is the fact that the background of the screen will constantly remain dark. That has to be done. The reason why, because if any light transfers through the screen on the opposite way, this could cause the screen to fade out. Now, if you're using this for front and rear inside, now if you're using it for window advertising, they couldn't care less about the opposite side of the screen. They need to decide where the people are coming in to see that part. That's what's important. But this technology, if you lay it against a window, does something crazy. As I showed you in this demonstration, the image on this side fades and the image on this side heightens. Yeah, explain that one. Even I can't even explain that one. And that's God's technology. So as you can see, how the image is projecting off Groot's face. It's coming through these little holes right here, and it's projecting off the bottom of his neck. When you get to the rest of his body, there's nothing there. Now, if you did this on a spray-on product from Home Depot or Lowe's that was clear, you would see a foggy image cast on his body right there. And there you go. Look at the image, how clean it is. And again, that's a 5200 lumen projector. Now, this is a application of 4 shades. We have a shade how to when you paint the screen. Like I said, 1 shade, it's going to give you a little clearer, and as you put multiple shades, it gets darker and darker. So this is 4. And the maximum is 5. 5 is dark, but like I said, the more the shades, the image is still going to maintain bright. This cuts down less light that may want to transfer to the screen, as in if you're using a 5200 lumen Sony DPO FH36, you're not going to be able, see how the light's here? You're going to be able to block a great deal of that light that's going to be making contact with the screen. See right here? See how I move the camera back and forth? There you go. See, he has to understand how it works. But that's why I like to show off sometimes when it comes to certain technology. We like to show it off first. Give them time. See how far they're going to stick that foot down their throat and then come in and say, hey, this is how it is. This is what it looks like. Now, 5 shades would have completely eliminated that. Usually we do that. And the reason why, like I said, it has to be done with a multi-shade application or multi-application applied, because, like I said, some people may want it a little clearer. Some people want a mid-clear. Some people might want a dark. You know, it depends on how they want it transparent. And that's why it came very important. It came to the black screens. We did the black screens first off the bat. Those things were so dark. And they were nice. They were beautiful. But some people didn't want them that dark. They want a little bit of a fog to it or whatever. And that's why when you apply this, you put the first coat on, it's going to be lighter. It gets darker and darker and darker. That gives you a chance to adjust how dark you want it. I tell people when you spray these screens, put a piece of newspaper underneath of it. As the print starts to disappear, that way you can adjust how dark you want it on how well you can see the print on the paper on the opposite side. So it's a little bit more complicated, not complicated, but so it has a little bit more technique to it than taking a piece of plexiglass and spraying some nonsense over top of it. And I'll show you the projector if you want to check it out. So right here we have a Sony VPL FH36 projector, 1920 by 1200, 5200 lumens. Very important that we use projectors of high calibers in these demonstrations, because we have to prove to the customer, we have to prove to people we're doing business with, if they're using a high caliber projector, it is not going to add a piercing image that's going to push through the other end and blind their customers. So if you're right here at the storefront window, and say this is a person's advertising fish. Now, cool thing about it is, I've seen people actually put underwater network cameras in their fish tank, and they can display them on TVs. Well, now you can display that on glass right on your storefront, and people can see what's going on in your fish tanks right on your window. And you can have a direct hit from the sun hit it, and it wouldn't even phase it. And I'm talking about a real direct hit, not sunlight on the opposite side of the street and the house being dark on your side saying, oh, sunlight right there, that's making contact. That's not a direct. I think people have to understand what words mean before they type them down or write them in. Direct hit means if you're basically playing Battleship and you call out a number and you say direct hit, that means whatever that target hit, it hit a direct hit to that spot. That's what that means. Not direct hit and across the street. I'll put that right there so you can look at that for yourself. Now, the reason why last time we developed the sun killer technology, and again, demonstration was never matched. With that technology, the only problem we had with it was too light. It couldn't produce contrast. It was good, but it couldn't produce contrast. And contrast is what's needed. So the object was to figure out a way how to darken the technology to make it dark enough, but also maintain the white levels, which you're still going to have to do with a regular screen, maintain the color without the screen suffering too much. And then it's going to have to be able to take in light from here and light from here at the same time and still maintain the image and the color without fading, without washing out, and still be able to be hit with a projector without lamp glare pushing through on the opposite side. On top of that, has to be able to actually produce an image out there. All right, so let's put Groot back up on the scene. We have Groot here to show you how the screens are, and the reason why they're called with the name dark invisible. Again, as I said before, they're designed to be dark so that way you can't see the object on the other side. And this is 4 applications, just 4. Maximum is 5. I did some demonstration. We waited. We didn't do anything. We waited. Oh, the theories that came out on what we were doing and how we were doing it. We didn't even show off the screen yet. Oh, it was the black screen. It was the black technology. That's what it was. It's the black technology. We didn't show the screen off. We overlapped the screen on purpose so people couldn't tell exactly what color it was. So we showed off the screen. We hit it. We project overlapped it. And there were so many theories on how it was done. It was hilarious. So we waited about a week. Then we came out and we turned on the projector. We shrunk the image and said, look, screen's jet black. Boy, that had to be embarrassing. That had to be really embarrassing. That's a good cup of tea. All right, let me go grab what we got to do here right now. Because I have to, like I said, I have investors. I have to do the pre-recordings because we already have it backed up. We have it documented live. Screen pull the image, no problem. Now we need to show clarity. Now, for some reason, my outside area out there, I don't know what I don't understand it. There, right there, it's buggy. If I put the projector, in the opposite way, it's good. It's crazy. I don't know how that works, but depending on where I'm positioned, eventually where I'm positioned in that spot, it's crazy over there. So I'm going to have to pay for some extenders or something to put out there because it needs to be a little clearer. I need to do live demonstrations out there, period. But we're going to pre-record these. These are being sent over to companies that are very interested in the technology. So you'll hear me speaking a little differently. But this video is being done to basically recap what we did yesterday, as in the individual who thought that, again, this coughing or laughing is both. We thought he could go to Home Depot or Lowe's and basically use a spray on reflective surface to actually do the same thing we did in our demonstration. Not realize the screen was not even transparent at that level. All right. That's freaking hilarious. I guess I'm gonna show you the video. We did this already with him before 4 years ago. Okay. Let's go over a couple more things real quick. Let's come out of here. Let's see. Let me see. Oh. LG, this will go faster. LG beta fish. Yep, wrong one. LG, let me try to stop coughing first. LG Beta Fish. Ah, now my temperature's coming up. It was cold when I got down here. I was like, you gotta keep the heat off. At some point having the heat on, it's May. But it does get a bit chilly out here from time to time. So there's the LG Beta Fish right there. And if you notice, the image is pulling up a contrast level. Now this is for those of you who are going to be using it for rear projection, front projection. I don't know why, but if you're going to be using it for front projection, because its strong points is rear projection technology. But to show you that you're not going to see Groot on the other side whatsoever. You're just going to see it splash across its face. That's basically about it. There's the fish flying through. Now, the object of having Groot there is to show you that, no, the screen is not that kind of transparent. Like I said, you can't do the same thing. I'm sorry, you can't do the same thing with Home Depot or Lowe's products. You're gonna, if we did the same thing, it'll put us around there. And he really should have taken the time to understand what it was instead of rushing into it to figure out that, oh, this is how it's done. I busted him. He's designing a product that anybody can make. Okay, sure. Let me explain something to you, to this individual. When my Lord and Savior is not a fake, he's not a phony, he's not this, he's not that. Whatever you may believe, whether you're, I don't know, I doubt you're a Christian, but I really do doubt that. He's not a fake or phony. If I come on here and I'm telling you that my Lord and Savior gave me the ability to be able to design this, he gave me the knowledge to design that, he did so. All right. And I can come on here and debunk everything you do against my product and back it up 100% on YouTube live, showing how you cheat, cut corners, try to tear down products, just doing things that the devil does best. I can come out here and show you that. Just like the demonstration where you did that black paint against the Black Nova. I put a TV right there on the floor. We tried everything we could to make that screen look exactly like your video, and it didn't even show. Displayed nothing but white levels, didn't even show. Then we went back and took your video, which is broadcasted now on my page, all my pages now for everyone to see, and they don't like it too well, of you basically doing the video, exposing your face, thank you, and doing the video of you showing how dark our screen was going to come up. And it didn't even match. On our end, we have a screen displaying white sheets of paper, an Elite Pro 3, which is using a 0.9, very high white screen. Not matching that one, and darkening the screen. Now, yes, a white sheets of paper, your screen paint may have produced a higher white level, but nothing in the video you displayed. We did it side to side. We could not match it. And then when that one became too much for you to handle and you got outed as a hater on that one, and you couldn't prove that that's how our product comes up, what do? You come after the entire video and you just scream, oh, it has to be a scam. How would that be possible? It's live. Everyone can see it. It's not pre-recorded. We have no special effects in the room. We have projector, screen, samples, TV, and that's it. There's no enhancements on the projectors. All my projectors are old and outdated. I don't have anything brand new and update in this place. No, buddy, you got busted, and the first thing you do is you say scam. Because, again, as I said before, you're the last person that should ever use that word. The fact that we found out your product, number one, matches my product from 8 years ago, which means we own the rights to your products. We've made it first. You know, possession is 9/10 of the law. On top of that, and we can back that up in court, on top of that, consider the fact that your product matched, the other ones match primer perfectly. Consider the fact that you deleted a video that had 27,000 hits on it due to the fact that in that demonstration you showed how to make a product that matched a couple of your screen paints. So no, my friend, I definitely would not be screaming the word scammer. And then the fact that your website, or not website, your eBay account is set up where customers have to email you for their product, not getting what they ordered on their receipt, knowing that eBay does have the category list. So, I don't know. I would not be screaming that word off a lot. Now, in this demonstration, you claim that you are able to mimic and do the same thing we were doing, not realizing that the screen that was sitting in the window was not clear. It was actually a dark gray invisible technology. That's where you embarrass yourself again. See? And there you go. Running off to Home Depot again. Now, I also want you to understand something too. As I said before about that incident with the whole copyright thing, that's being taken care of. I told you. The video that you shot where you claimed that you got a letter from an attorney, we already dubbed that one. That was dubbed. And the reason why it's dubbed because we're going to be getting our draft very soon. The lawyers over in California where the case was transferred to have just contacted me yesterday and told me that they are now beginning the process of basically taking the next steps from there. So like I said, we'll take that draft that we'll be receiving from those attorneys and we'll basically, I'll post that online so you all can see my draft of what we got from the attorneys before we finalize on that paperwork. And we'll compare it to the fake video he did where he claimed he already received that information from our attorneys when we didn't even receive a draft of the paperwork itself. So just to show you how far this person will cheat, lie, and manipulate and do whatever he needs to do. But yeah, as I said before, this is not the technology or whatever you thought that you were doing. It's not that. I'm sorry. You just should have did your homework a little better. If you notice, there's no transfer on Groot's body. See that? Only the transfer is going to hit his face, so that's the only part being hit. If you did this with a crystal clear product, much like you would have got from Home Depot or Lowe's, you would have saw an imprint or a foggy imprint on his body. Right here, you would see under the neck because it's actually piercing through here. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. But that's giving you an understanding and giving him an understanding on, and on top of that, like I said, when you do receive the real document letter, you will not be reading that on YouTube. Because if you do, these fellows will come down and contact you. Mind you, I told you before that when we got the attorneys, we were advised to not get the attorneys in Philadelphia, to get them in California. So that way, if it comes down to that point where we have to have served you, we can go to your neck of the woods. We can reach you. That's why it was done that way. People are less threatened if you basically, and you basically have an attorney in Pennsylvania. So if our attorneys were in Pennsylvania, they're less threatened by that. But put one in their backyard, close to them, and the whole entire situation, attitude changes then. Because now you have someone that has a potential reach to reach over and say, here, here's some papers from Mr. Bird. You've been served. You have to go to court. Not hard to track you down, especially when they live in your backyard. So that's why we went with the attorneys in California. You're not going to, just because you didn't get a piece of paper right away, doesn't mean anything. It takes time for these things. There are things that when we get the draft over, once we get it over here, I have to look over it. I have to see exactly, there's a few things I do want to add to that paperwork because we need that. Because if you ignore this, say if you get the paperwork, you read through it, say you ignore it. So next time when you get a knock at the door, there'll be a man waiting for there to serve you, or a woman to serve you. That's for you to appear in court because you violated the, I think it's called, I say it wrong at the time. I think it's cease and desist order or whatever it is. But if you violate that, Now when we go before the judge, I can go, Your Honor, hey, look, this is the video demonstrations. These are emails, text messages we got from the individual. This is the video we had from Home Depot. That right there alone is gonna flatline you for good. We don't even need the rest of the stuff, but we need to add all that in there and showing the extent on how far you're going. This is what he calls me scammer. These are people that were coming into the channel, talking trash. All that stuff is recorded. And this is the letter we sent to him by the attorneys, giving him a warning not to mention our name, and he disregarded it. There you go. You clean hung yourself. That's why those piece of documents are given out. That's why they're to be taken seriously, because that is not only do we have extremely heavy evidence against you of walking in and basically trying to duplicate and make the product, but we have that document that you have ignored and made a mockery of that came from an attorney, came from the courts. Starfield screensaver that came from the courts that was given to you for you to respect that document. You disrespect it, you go to court and say, look, Your Honor, this is what we gave to him. These are the videos he shot afterwards. This is him bragging and talking and carrying on YouTube. There you go. Now, things will be different. Things won't be a warning from a piece of paper. Things will come up to now of being sued for the $250,000. Things are being sued for $150,000 from my attorney. Things may come up where basically that once the copyright and trademark office get a hold of it, and they will because they have to be contacted on this situation, their policies or restrictions get a little crazier too. They're up to $250,000 and 10 years in jail. Starfield screensaver. So, like I said, that little piece of paper, and if you ignore it, and say you ignore it, you got a certain amount of days to respond back, and you don't ignore it. You have to contact an attorney, have an attorney contact them, and say you ignore it. Say you pretend it never even happened. Then once that ends, that statute of limitation, wherever that ends on that, then I can basically address, okay, we'll just go out and we'll just sue them. Then that's when they'll hire an investigator, and they will track down your whereabouts to serve you at your job, anywhere you're at. This fellow is going to come see you and give you this document saying, hey, look, you have to appear in court. Now, say you get that piece of paper and they give it to you and you ignore that, now you got a bench warrant on you. Now the police will come to your house and they'll put handcuffs on you. They'll take you down and process you, and you will sit there and go see a cyber judge or whatever has to be done, and they'll figure out whether or not if you get bail or you don't get bail. Now, that's just a lawsuit of it all. We haven't talked about the criminal charges yet. So I did file criminal charges against you. That's a different story. They are going to have to definitely go down there, file charges, which means your California, your department, whatever, once they get that report from over in Philadelphia of you basically posting my house online, putting my life in danger because I have very serious respiratory issues. And what you did was very, very dangerous. So there, I also filed criminal charges against you on that one. So they're going to have the police come down and pick you up from there, and they can process you from there. Now, when we go to court or have a way to do it, you have to come up here to take care of that. If you miss that court date, you'll have a bench warrant on you. This is why I pay you to mind your own business and be respectable. So just explain it to you. Also, too, in that order, I will be requesting a takedown order. A takedown order means that you have to remove every single video. I mean, everyone. You have a certain amount of time. They'll give you like 3 or 4 days to remove everything. If there is anything found, anything, even my name mentioned, anything talked about, whatever, anything, you're getting sued. And that's what that document's for. It's to show the judge that we basically tried to basically work with you. You refused, and you did what you wanted to do. So when we go to court, open and shut case. Even if I didn't have the evidence, well, it'd still be open and shut case. Well, I need some of the evidence. So keep in mind, when you go to an attorney such like this that deals with copyrights and trademarks and all that stuff, you have to show proof that your copyright exists, which means we had to send down our documents from the patent and trademark, or whatever you call it, patent and trademark, whatever, to show them that our documents are actually real. So they did all that stuff and everything. It was good. But now, since they got our documents, they have to contact them to let them know that there is going to be a case going on because Mr. Bird's copyrights and information and stuff like that was violated. So like I said, it's two parties you got to deal with. The other one, ooh, nightmare. Very freaking nightmare. Because like I said, their fines are a little different. They're talking about 10, you can get 10 years in jail for that. Now, once the criminal charges go through, I will be pressing for jail time. I will hire an attorney to basically ask the judge to give you some kind of jail time for that. I don't want probation. Judging by the videos and demonstrations and stuff, how you taunted my company and how you carried on and things that you've done, you are considered to be reckless. We'll be contacting YouTube on top of that, the legal department, and explaining to them if they don't basically terminate you from YouTube altogether, we will sue them due to the fact that they use your platform for cyberbullying, harassing, terroristic threats. Yeah, you got a lot of charges coming against you. So it just pays to mind your own business. That's what it does. The only time I come in here and I do demonstrations against your products is when you're out there trying to talk trash about mine. Other than that, we don't care about your stuff. Like I said, we sat here for what? A couple of days in, working on our products and stuff. Even had a couple of screens up here. Didn't even put your product against us. I said, we're not going to put this product against it because there's no point. We're not going to let them sit in this corner, let the professionals do their job. No sooner than we come out here and show off an invisible screen, what happens? He pops up saying, oh, look, this is how they're doing it, and this is how it's done, and so and so and so. And then I had to come out here and I had to embarrass you yesterday showing, no, it's not what you think it is. That screen is designed and you can't see through it. It's not the same as going to Home Depot and getting some clear reflective paint and paint it on plexiglass. Yeah. But anyway, we got things to do. I got to do these recordings for my investors and get that set up. And we just had to do a recap on what happened yesterday so you all can know exactly what went on and where this individual people asked me about, you should sue this guy and whatever. It's being done. Trust me. All that is being done. It's being taken care of. That's why I said we're not going to go back and forth on this. Let the professionals do the work. We came out, cleared our name as we always do, show people exactly where this guy's a fake, and then we go about our business and go back to work. Until we design something else that he gets jealous and upset about, and he feels he has to basically go out and do a video about that too. Then we have to come back out again and show him where he's wrong, embarrass him again on YouTube. And you know what he's going to do? I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to go in and do a review about toys or video games or something else that has nothing to do with screen paint to try to take your mind off the dumb stuff that he just did. Oh well. But as in that paperwork and what I talked about a few minutes ago, and yeah, you can show videos all day long. You're not going to get around that one. That's going to be bad. I don't know what you were thinking by walking into a... I still can't get over that. I really can't. Who does that? It's like walking into a bank with a GoPro. Wow. Even the attorneys in California saw the video. They were like, what the freak? And I was like, yep. Yes, sirree. So, just so you know, you're being monitored. Now, let's get back to those of you that are looking at this, trying to figure out what the freak is he doing and why he's grouped, covered in stars. If you're watching the video, as I told you before, and the individual's video basically claimed that you could do our product just by going down to Home Depot and Lowe's and buying this clear reflective product, which we bought yesterday, painted that on plexiglass, and you would get the same results. What the individual didn't realize that while the screen was sticking in the window, he thought it was clear. He thought basically the reflection that was coming off it was coming off clearly from the projector, and that wasn't the physical screen. That was actually gray. He thought that was coming from the video. Didn't realize that when we pulled the screen off and laid it down, that you couldn't see through the screen at all, that the screen physically was a dark gray screen that can produce white light color right through the screen. It's called dark and visible for a reason. We don't make up names and stick it on it. Every time we make up a product, there is a reason behind the name on what it's called. That's why it's called a dark invisible Nova 19. It got 19 because it has sun killer technology and it took a direct hit from the sun. Now, when you do a demonstration, and if you understand the word direct hit means you are hitting the target directly hit on. Direct hit. Like you sunk my battleship. Direct hit. Not direct hit as in sunlight being across the street, your side of the house being shady, there's no sunlight pushing through the window, nothing whatsoever. That's not a direct hit. That's a complete miss. But yet, because you show the sunlight, you're thinking, oh, it's doing the same thing. Again, when you practice cutting corners and not doing your work correctly, how would you even know what hard work even looks like? There you go. All right. Unfortunately today, I'm glad we got the videos done yesterday because we got a cloudy day today. But you know. So as you can see, when I put my projector really quick in blank mode, you can't see Groot. All you see is a reflection of my camera right there, the shadow right there, but that's it. We showed this off already. Wait a minute, I did do a video. I did a video on Facebook and on here yet. I did a video on this. We did one just like this to show you the technology first. I guess he missed that part altogether. But anyway. Oops, I just freeze it. There we go. And if you go over and look, you can see where the stars are only hitting Groot's face. It's not touching his body at all, period. We go to the opposite side of the screen. You can see outer space. See? Now, interesting thing about this technology, and I showed off yesterday, if you had this inside, you're using this for display or what you may be using it for, you can see both ends of the screen, this side and this side. If you put that against glass and you have sunlight or a tremendous amount of light coming through the screen, you will notice that the inside picture is faded, but the outside is bright and heightened. See? The formula reacts different to light. So how the light is basically interacting with the screen. Also, too, as the other person didn't understand at all, period, this is not a one-coat spray-on. This product has multiple layer applications, which means first layer you put on, it's going to be clear, go foggy. As you start to add it, it gets darker and darker. It gives you the ability to be able to adjust how dark you want your screen. So this is a 4 application. The highest you can go is 5. Oh, man. You see this is the reason why we have to have these lawyers involved. Why? We have to get rid of this person for good. Because this is time I need to be doing demonstrations on the blue. I have tests that have to be done on the dark. Am I saying it correctly? Because I always butcher that name. It's the dark hazel, that chocolate screen. We have tests on that. That still has to go through its distance throw. We have to do the low lumen test on that. We just finished it off with the blue. I wanted to get everything outside yesterday, but I got caught up in this right here. We're doing the outside demonstrations. Came out really nice on that. I didn't get a chance to go outside and do the fabric screen outside. If it rains today, the only thing we'll get out today is I want to test out this. I told you we're working on some product, and I want to test it out in the rain. So the only way I can do that is 2 ways. We can put it here and stick it out there, or we can mount it to the deck out there, coat it as plexiglass, a plexiglass screen, coat it out there, and then basically just have it rain and use the projector in here because I don't have outer boxes in here. I want to be able to record while that screen is drenched in rain. It's very important because there's a special coating on that screen that's designed to allow you to be to submerge the screen, get it wet. It's basically being designed for pool parties, stuff like that. Please, COVID-19 save, COVID-19 save, you know. When I say parties and stuff, I'm not telling people to go. We also ask people to practice safety, please, all right? Especially from a person coming from me that has problems breathing on a regular basis. So please practice it safely if you want to do it, all right? Now, but even if you just want it for yourself and your kids and your family, and you want to put a screen up by the pool. What problem about having screens up by the pool is the fact that some of the screens are not weatherproof. And if you basically build a wooden screen, so you put it out by the pool, you don't basically put any kind of roof deck protection on it, any polyboard, anything to protect the surface whatsoever. Eventually, it's going to start developing mold. The wood's going to start to warp, and you're going to have some problems. So we are working with plexiglass is a lot easier to get now. And we're working on basically getting an interesting, I'm not going to say what kind it is, but it's an interesting type of plexiglass that we can coat, and you can have that by the pool. You can watch movies. And yes, it will have front and rear technology because you'll be able to look at that screen outside in the sun. See what we're getting at with this? See, in many applications that you can use this stuff for. You can go out there, have your pool party, splash water on it, whatever you want. Doesn't make a difference. But we need to have tests, demonstrations backing this up. I can't come out here and say, hey, look, we got a product that's weatherproof and this, that, and the other, and there's no test to back it up. That's why the tests are very important. And if people don't do tests, then they can't back up their product. All right, so we're going to have to do the next couple of demonstrations outside. They're going to have to be done pre-recorded. I need those particularly done crystal clear. We already got enough live demonstrations back in the tech. So we need to have those crystal clear because those particular videos for you to see, and those videos also too will be sent out to individuals who are basically buying stake into our company and our technology. And you know what's pretty cool? I'm going to tell you something right now. I have somebody I'm working with right now on a project. I can't tell you what the project is. We did some, I got to start doing more of that. We did some, a group of his friends were on. One of the guys is over at Projector Central. Got went to my page and my YouTube channel and checked out my videos, and he is freaking loving it. So it's interesting how professionals can look at my product and love it and approve it, but somebody in a, whatever, never mind, can't, whatever. We know where we're going with that one. But anyway, so we got a chance to do a video fee, and I got a chance to show him this screen right here in the video, and he was like, whoa, because the conversation we were talking about was these projectors like the Valva and these different projectors that give you that height that you're going to get a 150-inch screen out of their projector, ultra short throw projectors. I'm gonna scour the internet today and see how many people have done a 150-inch screen out of that projector in a fully lit environment. I'm not talking about dim lighting, ambient light control environments. I'm talking about fully lit environment. As you see me when I walk through the house, fully lit. I want to see that. And look at the distance throw. My projector. Look how far it sits back. It's pretty far. But keep in mind, this projector, when I got it, and if you go on Projector Central, it's only designed to do 80 to 100 inch. These projectors were used for office and hospitals and schools. They weren't developed to design giant images like this. They were designed to do a nice little 80 inch to 100 inch, and that's it. We have maxed out the pixels on this screen by a lot. The screen's 148 or 147. So the fact that I was able to show him that how I can turn on the projector, as a matter of fact, why talk about it? Let's do it, because you know me. Why is he talking about it? You know, let's do it. I understand. But anyway, as I was talking to him, I was showing the model number of the projector. This guy's a professional in his field with projectors. And he's looking at this like, why do you even have that in your house? You're using that? That's your main projector? So yeah. I went over and showed him the other one. He says, really? It's because I'm pretty sure in his house, he probably has all kinds of high-tech projectors, like the best of the best. So he's looking at the projector, how old it is. You know, he's looking at it's outdated. They don't make them anymore. All the parts I have in here are old. He doesn't have any new technology in that thing at all. And then I show him the demonstration where I'm going back like this and going, bam, look at the screen. Look how much light's hitting it. He can't believe I'm getting 147 or 48 out of a projector like that. And that's what I said from the door, that the reason why you can't get 150 inch, number one, out of the Valve projector with them, because they don't have the capability anyway to do it. And another reason why the Dell, which is a very expensive projector, I think it's like, when it came, it was like a $6,000 ultra short throw projector. They went it for the Dell. It actually does 150 inches. It's a very expensive projector. The Dell does 150 inches. But anyway, that will fill out 150 inches. If I can get, on my technology, if I can get 148 or 147, we're going to measure this. It's not 147, 48 out of this projector. What do you think you're going to get out of a Dell that automatically does 150 from the door? There you go. And the reason why it doesn't pull up at 150 inches, cartoons, no, I mean, that's cartoons late at night. 4K Tropical Fish, YouTube. The reason why it doesn't pull up is because white screens and gray screens have no form of contrast. They can't pull color properly, as I showed you multiple times. Even on certified screens, they can't pull the color correctly. I mean, if they can't pull that color correctly, can't pull that contrast, and they can barely maintain in a fully lit environment, it has to be ambient light. What makes you think you're going to get a 150-inch screen out of that? That's not going to happen. Now, the one thing I don't understand about the Valva and the other projectors they make, they're using pixel shifting. When you use pixel shifting, you're not getting native 4K. You're getting a bootleg version of a 4K. All they're doing is basically just taking the pixels and they're pushing them tighter together to give you a more sharper picture. Same thing equivalent if you take a projector, any projector, and you go real close to the screen, you go too close to the screen, if the image is much more, like I said, if it's tighter and it's a smaller image, the picture is going to be sharper and it's going to be brighter. All right. That's the reason why when we do these demonstrations with these particular screens, inside you can notice my projector sits back a good 9-10 feet. And the kitchen, we're about 9 feet from the screen. And then at the top of that, my kitchen isn't exactly what you call dark in there. As you can see, there's a lot of light in my kitchen. And that's just with the window light and that one light there. My kitchen's well illuminated. Then the screen has to take on the everyday light outside, including sun, at the same time, while all that's filtering back and forth through the screen. See? So keep in mind, people understand when they watch that demonstration. When I displayed the screen, there was a 5200 lumen projector in the room at 9 feet back. When it hit the back side of that screen, that image was gone. It was faded. That's how much sunlight was literally pushing through the screen that it faded the image on the opposite side where the screen projector was sitting inside, protected from the elements. And the part of the screen that was taking in all the hits was sitting outside, taking in the sunlight, taking in the ambient light at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and still maintaining a bright image. That's what he doesn't understand, how real technology is supposed to be tested. Now, as I'm having this conversation with you right now, you're watching my 147 or 48 inch screen being displayed on a 720p outdated NEC projector, and look at the image in a fully lit environment. You can get a 150 inch out of one of these projectors easy. You don't have to go out and spend all this money for a projector, all this money just to get that big screen. You can get it from out of there. Just got to have the right screen to display it on. Now, if this screen was gray, I wouldn't be picking up any of the color, any of the contrast. It'd be washed out. So how in the world am I going to get over 150 out of this, or 120 out of this, if I can't get a 100 inch display to begin with? There you go. That's why I said that gray screen paint, all that stuff, is obsolete. It's old technology. It's all old. Companies sell it because they have it. You want an advanced screen? Call any one of them. Call each screen to say, hey, look, what is your best screen you have? Call Screen Innovation. What's the best screen you have? Would it be gray, or is it going to be gunmetal dark? Or they don't have black. I'm going to have black. I'll say our top screens are gunmetal. Now let me show you something he can't do on his P4, I think P4 projector at about $3,000 to $4,000. I'm using 10 times more light. My screen is probably 3 times the size of your screen. Your screen's at 100 inch. When you take a 100 inch screen and you compress it all together with that projector, you're going to get a much brighter image. But even with a brighter image, he's still doing demonstrations in the dark, because even though if he has the projector sitting that close to the screen, because the screen can't see color, can't see contrast, doesn't make a difference what projector you have in there, you can't pick it up. That's why the demonstrations have to be done in the dark. Better chance of picking up contrast levels, because contrast is in everything. This is what I showed the fellow on the camera. Right there. Look at that. I can go all the way over. You can still see my screen right there on a $59 eBay projector. Outer space screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
I know we're off topic. I like to go off topic from time to time. You all know how to do videos. We're done with this. We already showed you exactly up close what this technology looks like. Sometimes when I do the technology we develop like that, we like to do it at a distance, because we like to get the naysayers in there to start running their mouths, and then we go, oh no, you were wrong. That's what it looks like. But there you go. Can't do this on a gray screen. You know why? None of this in the background is going to show up at all. It's not going to pull the contrast. Starfield demonstration. And this is on a projector that's an XGA. It has a 3,000 to 1 contrast. That's it.
Your dad was a holy man. His dad was a holy man. You are a holy man. It,
I could challenge your projector right now. I could say, hey, guess what? I challenge your $4,000 projector, your P2, versus my NEC. This is my NEC UM361X. And I bet you my projector can outperform yours. Starting with a star field demonstration in a fully lit environment. Now, if we go back to the topic of saying, well, my white levels are higher, you're saying my levels basically come up so dark you can't see them. I keep in mind we've done that demonstration against your products already, and these screens produce white levels just as good as your gray screen paint mixes. And we have the videos to back it up. I can post you a ton of links down at the bottom. Look at that. You can't do that. I can show white levels, I can show color, I can show contrast, whatever I want on my screens. It's going to produce. I can do it in a fully lit environment. It's going to produce. You have a 200 million? So it's way up there, 200 something million, 2 million, 2 million to 1 contrast something on your projector. You can't display this right here, right now. You know why? The projector can produce the contrast. Your screen can't do it. J&K 4K demonstrations.
Getting that from YouTube.
Yeah, I can do bright, beautiful colors, which requires a white level from the technology. In order for it to do that, it has to have a white level. And multiple shades at that to pull that off. So in this video, I'm going to challenge your projector. I can show off white levels, no problem. I can show off colors, no problem. I can show off contrast, no problem. So let's see if you can pull a star field. And if you can't pull the star field and he doesn't do the demonstration, clearly shows there's nothing wrong with the projector. The projector is an amazing piece of machinery. It's the screen. The projector is only as good as the screen it's being displayed on. And meanwhile, you're watching Groot. Starfield demonstration.
Getting that from YouTube.
So there you go. Just showed you that fast, that quick. I can display white levels, colors, the whole 9 yards. Screen looks beautiful, looks bright, full lit environment. And then I can switch back over to a Starfield demonstration and watch Deep Space. I want to see you do the same demonstration and you're on today on that projector and show us a Starfield demonstration that looks just like that. All right, well, we're done with the topics on that right there. You know, I thought about something because this is a distance throw projector. It's called extended long throws. I wonder how far I can go back and hit my screen with that thing. Huh. Oh, wait, let me show you something real quick. See the white wall being hit? And that's with the projector out of focus. Why my lights are on right next to a window at more than 18 feet back. If the screen was so dark as he described gunmetals to be, you wouldn't be able to see that at all, period. Just something I want to add in there real quick. See how you get outed when you fake your demonstrations? This is why when I come on here and when I tell you people that God has given me the information to do this, give me the ability to do this. If God's gonna give me the ability to do this, he's sure enough going to give me the information and the know-how how to debunk the devil, how to show someone off to be a liar, and how to deal with that situation the best way possible by hiring attorneys to get the job done. All right, with that being said, what time we got? Because I'm supposed to be outside. I got these demonstrations. We still got more testing on this outside. I got to be outside at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got to be out at 9 o'clock in the morning. We got to set the screen up there. I need to buy me a camera that does time lapse, that constantly records, because that's what we need for that outside. Because remember, these are going to be used for storefront windows. Not that, this right here. And also too, with this technology we're going to be working on, it comes in 4 colors. Oh, he didn't know about that, did it? Yeah, it comes in 4 colors. So good luck going to Home Depot trying to figure out how we got a special screen. It's kind of, I think it might be rose gold or something crazy. It might be rose gold. I'm not clear on what it is, but it's weird. So good luck going to Home Depot and trying to figure out the 4 different colors. This screen's going to be popping off in different forms of invisible dark technology. As I said before, the exotics have visible tech attached to them. So we can take the invisible technology of exotic. As I said before, we're going to have to change everything around because that's being purchased. The exotics are being purchased. So that has to be changed around and restructured to be converted into this and then make it invisible. So there's actually, this is the first one. You're going to see 4 more after this. Actually, 3 more after this one. And maybe 5. I don't know. Because I'm thinking that rose gold would be gorgeous. You know, rose gold would be cool. Oh, that would be beautiful. Nail salons would eat that up, man. They have a rose gold screen that transfers their... Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. Now you got to think outside the box, people. All right, let's go into blank mode real quick. Let's see if we can see Groot again. No Groot. Can you see him? Can you see Groot at all? At all? Can you see Groot? Nope. No. That's why we call it dark invisible. All right, that being said, I got to get ready to get some tests done, and hopefully we'll get the blue, because blue has to go outside. It just needs to go outside to get the 1,000. We need to get that outside so we can get that on the website. I know I had the elitist. I haven't had time. That's supposed to be on the site. There's some stuff working back and forth, and I'm working on some projects right now with some other people. But we're going to get the elitist done. We just need a label for that one. That one has to be taken outside. Where is it at? Where's the other screen? There's blue at. This is blue. Blue's got to be taken outside, and then that screen right there, sitting out there, that is the black hazel. Got the name right. The black hazel. That has been, these screens have been sitting out in the rain because I've been storing them on the deck. I'm not dragging these things up and down the staircase all day. So I'm storing them outside, which means they're being hit with rain and everything else. Sunlight, the sun comes up on this side and hits the screen. So, you know, they're fade proof. They're not going to fade, and you don't have to worry about basically, it's raining right now, ain't it? Yep. It's going to be soaked in rain. But they're weatherproof. They're good. They're not going to happen to them. Got 135 out there sitting there right now. All right, people. Hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. No, it's a shame I got to take time out of my day to do this stuff, man. To do this stuff right here. But then again, like I told you before, I said, look, you know, we're going to let him play in his little corner and, you know, go about our business. And I told you, no sooner than we come up with something that we're working on, sure enough, here he come running. Here we come running. Tell me, this is how it's done. This is how it's done. That's a shame. That is really a shame. But we only come out here to do this and any other videos we've done to basically defend our product, which we find kind of interesting because every time we debunk his product as being, and it has matched Gray's primer, our product from 8 years ago, he never does a demonstration to prove anything different. And we told him, look, if you feel you're wrong, we're wrong in this demonstration, feel free to go out and buy some primer or make your product and show us a difference in that demonstration. Never done. All right then, people, I gotta go. I got much work to do. I got some work with this one. Lord has already given me ideas for that rose gold. That's gonna be beautiful. All right. Sorry about that cough on camera, people. Gotta go, and God bless.